The cases against Donald Trump are fundamentally based on a misunderstanding. Granted, that misunderstanding has been promulgated and promoted by supporters of a political agenda. It's a misunderstanding nonetheless. That the government of the United States is sovereign and therefore above the law. The government of the United States did not create the United States. Both the United States and its governments are a creation of a compact between the states, the Constitution. No action by the United States is the supreme law of the land unless it is founded on the Constitution of the United States, at least according to Article 6, Clause 2, the Supremacy Clause, which reads, "This Constitution and the laws of the United States which shall be made in pursuance thereof, and all treaties made or which shall be made under the authority of the United States, shall be the supreme law of the land." To claim that the demonstrations on January 6, 2021 was an insurrection requires the assumption that political parties are the authority in the United States, at least according to Noah Webster, who defines an insurrection as a rising against civil or political authority, the open and active opposition of a number of persons to the execution of a law in a city or state. For a rising in the United States to be insurrection, it must be against a legitimate civil or political power. As I've already shown, at least 5 states were exercising an illegitimate power to appoint electors for president, since the manner of choosing them was established by the judicial or executive branch of the state government, not its legislature. Furthermore, the vast majority of the crowd was not looking to overturn the Congress or even the presidency, but what was evidently the flawed and corrupt election in several of the states. Even those who were convinced that Donald Trump had won and wanted him installed as president were not committing insurrection, since they were not trying to remove someone from office, but questioning the process by which he would be placed in it. How can the United States call itself a republic if the people in whom that sovereign power comes are not allowed to question the elections of their representatives? How can a calling for following the supreme law of the land be an insurrection against the law and the government it created? Add to all this the obvious political biases in everything from the reporting on the event to the claims made by the political actors. After all, when thousands shut down highways, burned effigies, and stated that Donald Trump is not my president, no one claimed they were committing insurrection. When violent demonstrations rampaged through Washington, D.C. in 2020, including the setting of fires across the street from the White House, those who called for such demonstrations were not accused of insurrection. While the 14th Amendment does not require someone to be convicted of insurrection, it does claim someone must have engaged in such a thing. In the United States, we are supposed to have due process. That includes the assumption of innocence and the government bearing the burden of proof. Yet to date, the only proof provided in support of this claim of insurrection have been misquotes, misrepresentations, and outright lies about the actions of the majority of demonstrators.